Right, everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I'm doing a series on making people's zombie knives legal. So basically, there's a change to the description of what a zombie knife is and a zombie machete, and it's made quite a few things illegal. So I'm going to show legitimate collectors and people like that how to keep the items that they've, bought or been given, because a lot of these items are collector's pieces or things that people have bought for themselves as presents or birthday presents, stuff like that. So I'll do a little disclaimer first, and explanation. So as mentioned, this is for the legitimate collectors who want to keep their pieces. They don't want to give them up, but they would still like to keep them, and they still want them to be legal. So with some basic tools, you can do that. I'll show you the one I'm going to do today, and then I'll show you another one. So this will be a zombie knife because it has these holes in it. So what makes this a zombie knife is the first stipulations are over 8 inches with a point and a sharp edge. If it then has more than one hole or serrations or spikes, that makes it into a zombie knife. So if these holes were made into one hole, that would be legal. I'll just show you something that is perfectly legal and will never fall under the description of a zombie knife unless they change it. So let me just show you this. That will be illegal under the new legislation. That will not be. That will still be perfectly legal. So illegal, legal. The only difference really in those, apart from the shape, are this one has holes. Just remember that. I'm not really showing people how to get hold of things that you can't get hold of anyway. That you can buy online if you show ID and then get ID at the door or go to a shop. That's perfectly acceptable to buy that. This one will be illegal because it's got more than one hole in it. Okay. For the collectors who want to keep their items, I'm going to show you how to make this legal. And basically what I'm going to do today, I'm going to cut those holes so they're one big hole. Another thing you could do is potentially cut that whole back bit out and then have the blade shape how that's shown underneath. Or you could potentially fill the holes in with you could weld them closed, or potentially some, I don't know if things like JB Weld would be acceptable, potentially very large rivets, or maybe even bolts. If you put bolts in those and then pinned the end of the bolt over so they can never be opened again, that certainly wouldn't be holes in there anymore. But what I'm going to do is make them into one big hole, and then it doesn't fall under the description of a zombie knife because it says more than one hole. Okay, one hole's okay. More than one makes it a zombie knife if it's over 8 inches and has a point and a sharp edge. Okay, the other things I suppose you potentially could do are completely blunting it, but there's always, you could always sharpen it again and potentially take off the tip like I did the other one. For this one, I'm going to take an angle grinder and cut those holes into one big hole, and it'll be legal. So the tools I'll be using are a simple angle grinder you can get in a lot of places. If you do buy an angle grinder to do this, make sure you watch a video showing you how to use angle grinders properly and wear the proper gear. I'll be wearing an apron that goes right underneath my neck, a mask that comes lower than that, a little mask and ear protection, stuff like that. And then I'll probably use some basic files, round files, to just tidy up the edge. One thing I would recommend is taping up the edge when you're doing things like this. It makes it a lot safer. I'm going to do one side then the other. Once I've done this, I'm going to put it in water. Right, we now have one big hole that will need refining. Right, so what I've got here is a round file. You can use various different files. I just find you can get over the lumps and bumps with these a bit easier. Because of this being an inside hole, you can't really get an angle grinder in there. I might be able to. Saying that, just thinking about it, I might be able to. But yeah, if you can't get an angle grinder grinding disc in there, you're only going to be able to do it by hand, essentially. You can use other files. I don't think one like this will really do much though. Right, so there you go. There's another zombie knife made perfectly legal. Don't forget that I'm not showing people how to make zombie knives so they can carry them on the streets. It's already illegal to carry any fixed blade on the streets without a legitimate use. It's already illegal to murder people. I'm just trying to help the legitimate collectors. And as mentioned before, if this had more than one hole, it would be illegal. But that one doesn't fall under the description at all. So, you know, these things don't really make much difference and they don't make a lot of sense. It's made to look like the government are doing something, and it's really not the right way to tackle it. You know, it may take some knives off the streets. And don't get me wrong, I understand why people want that, but it's not going to stop so-called knife crime when people can still get hold of other things that will do the exact same thing this will, and things like kitchen knives and stuff like that. So yeah, but there you go. There's another one made perfectly legal. And there are various ways to do these, okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like, definitely comment, definitely subscribe. Then you'll see more of these, because I do have a few more of these I need to make legal. Share the video if you think there's anywhere it might be useful. And I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.